Welcome back for the first time in a long time. We're all good.
No, we're not all good. We're not going to go through everything, but I'll show you all the games. This is Premier League, match week, whatever. We're not keeping up anymore. It doesn't matter, okay? Manchester City is stressing me out now. It's getting to a point, right, where it's Arsenal away. Okay, we'll start from the beginning as we always do. We do. The lineup. Pep. I know Rodri's not in. Rico Lewis and Kovacic. I guess I see it. I think Nunez could have deserved a spot in, especially with seeing how he came off the bench, played really well. He didn't start. This midfield. And then Bernardo out on the right. It looks like he's out on the right for a lot of the game. You'd think that, but no. Bernardo Silva played the Rodri role. He was the 6 for a good portion of the game, okay? Rico Lewis was far out on the right for that time as well, okay? Kovacic, again, from the beginning.
Should have been a red.
Okay, before that, the lineup though, it was okay. Alvarez and Haaland, Foden again, wanted to see a little bit more from him. Arsenal played well though. This was a very cagey match. It's what I expected, honestly. I didn't think this was going to be a 3-3 or a 4-3 or 2-0 or some crazy scoreline like that. I didn't think this was going to be a high-scoring game. I thought it'd be 1-1, 1-2, 2-1. How it was 1-0. Okay, I was hoping it wasn't going to go the way it did, but it did. Arsenal lined up. They don't have Saka. Big miss for them.
Yeah, I mean, especially going up against Kyle Walker on that right side. Yeah. That's something we want to see. We want to see those two.
Well, Saka would have been going up against Ake or Gavardio, who's at left back. Who? Oh my God.
That's why. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say Walker. Gavardio, who started it like that. It's not a left back position, but it is.
But it is left back. It's left back, but it's not.
So you would want to see them take advantage of that matchup because it's not his natural position. Yes, he can play there. We saw him do that for Leipzig, even in the Champions League, and we saw it a little bit for Croatia in the World Cup. But it's not his natural position.
Yeah.
So to have Saka out, that's a big loss for Arsenal.
Yeah. Again, going back to that, from the left side, Gavardio at left back, we'll call it left back, and then Ake at left center back. Ake last season was our best left back by far. Okay, again, we're calling it left back. Some people may not call it left back, right?
Like a defensive back.
Defensive left side, right? Okay. Ake was amazing at that position. He actually did well against Saka last season.
Yeah.
Gavardio was out there. Not that he did bad, but Ake, I mean, I don't know. I just didn't understand it. I don't know who could be better at left back. Gavardio at left back, though, he can do the job, but it
not against Arsenal.
I wanted it to be different. I wanted it to be different, especially because of the outcome now, seeing it. You know, it's easy to say that now because we lost and everything. But the service, overall, that's the biggest concern, right? The defense, you can chop and change left back, whoever. It doesn't really matter. The attack, I mean, Alvarez, Foden, they need to do more in this game. Haaland needs to do more in this game. Yes, you could say Haaland, he's there to score the goals. At the same time, though, I want him to get a little bit more involved. But I'm not going to give it to him too much. Saliba and Gabriel played really well.
Yeah.
They played good.
They played really well, and I think that this shows that obviously there are so few weaknesses in this City team. There are some weaknesses. And we know that they're missing key players. We know that every team struggles with injuries. You know, case in point, United played like absolute shit this last month, and we've had 11 injuries. But you got to get through it, and they weren't able to do that. But City have those weaknesses in when they can't get that build-up play going through the defense into midfield, and they don't get that smooth transition that they get from Rodri, it's real struggle for them.
And exactly what we need to get into. Kovacic, the next point of the lineup in midfield. This man is lucky. He should have, honestly, he could have been sent off for his first challenge on Odegaard. From behind, could have tore his Achilles almost. Got him in the, that's a questionably a red card. I was, as a City fan, you know what I mean, at the time, I'm like, oh, come on, harsh yellow, yeah, he deserves it. Looking at the replays a few times, I do see how you could make the argument that could be a red card.
Plus, everything looks worse in slow motion.
Yeah, everything looks worse.
Everything looks worse.
We continue on. Ref gives them a yellow. We want to keep the fluidity of the game. We want to keep 11 players on the pitch. I get it. Big game. That's what you want to do. You want to keep the entertainment high. You want to have 11v11, right? Not even 10 minutes later, dude goes sliding in. Definite foul. Doesn't get a yellow card. That one that was a for sure yellow card if he wasn't already on a yellow card, right? Yeah. Ref doesn't give it,
and it's a straight red if it's Casemiro.
I mean, it was insane. VAR and the whole refereeing thing. We could make a whole video. We could do a
whole 20-minute video.
That's a whole different discussion. Okay, but this game, I mean, Kovacic has to do better. I think that obviously we've talked about how good Rodri is. As a United fan, I hate saying that. I hate saying that he is undisputably the best DM in the world right now, and has been for the last 18 or so months. But the dude just links everything for that team, and without him, it's tough seeing who they're gonna put in there. They tried Bernardo. Not quite the defensive specimen that Rodri is. Mm-hmm. Can pass, but is not good defensively compared to Rodri. And then you have Calvin Phillips, who, we don't even need to talk about Calvin
as a hater of City, it's my biggest thing to point out that he has less minutes than Jadon Sancho, and he hasn't played a whole month.
This man, Calvin Phillips, I can see why he hasn't been getting the side, because when he does, he hasn't been performing up to the standard. He hasn't been put in the best spots, but he hasn't been performing up to the standard, okay? But Kovacic, Enrico Lewis, in this big game against Arsenal, it just wasn't it. And then the creativity, that's probably the biggest thing for me, is the creativity was just not there, okay? Doku coming off the bench for Alvarez, trying to do something.
Tried to provide something different.
He
really wasn't able to.
Couldn't really do anything, have that great of an impact. Like I said, Haaland, I wish he would get more involved. But the build-up play to him was not there. We need to get the ball into him. We've seen maybe one or two chances. I don't even think we had 2 shots on goal. I think we had maybe 1 shot on goal the whole time. Arsenal definitely owned us in that aspect. We had the possession barely, but I mean, away against Arsenal,
you got to do something with it.
Do something with it. We weren't efficient enough in the final third. We weren't able to get into the final third very much. Overall, though, I will say it wasn't a terrible performance away at Arsenal. Do you expect more? Yes. I'm not going to give anybody a pass.
Yeah, you don't.
There's no pass, okay? I expect those players to perform to a higher standard than they did, okay? At the same time, though, away against Arsenal, it's 0-0. And I will say, toward the end of the game, toward about the 70th minute, it seemed like we just went into first gear and kind of was hoping for a draw.
Kind of coasted and hoping for it.
It was not what you wanted from Manchester City. I get it, we're away, it's the 70th minute, we're getting later in the game, maybe you're thinking about getting a point away at Arsenal. That is a good result, how good of a team they are, okay? That is a decent result. I'm not going to say it's a great result. It's a decent result, away at Arsenal 1 point, okay? We do go real passive, and then they score in a way that really aggravates you as a fan. Really
just really boils your blood.
Beautiful goal. You sigh. It is what it is. What can you do? Beautiful goal. They deserve it in a way. You know what I mean? Okay. Ake with a deflected shot from Martinelli. To go into the back of the net past Ederson in the 80-something minute. For that to be the way we lose after playing not very good, okay? It shows we can turn this around, right? We played not very well. Wait till we start playing good, okay? We need this. This needs to be a turning point, right? We've been saying that. Oh, we need to be a turning point with Newcastle twice. It needed to be a turning point before, right? We've lost, I think, 3 in a row or
2 Premier League games in a row.
Yeah. So something needs to change, right? We need to kick this into gear now. This needs to be the wake up point in the season, like the last few seasons we've had when we lose to Tottenham. Okay, we lose to Tottenham. And then we go on a 15-game win streak, right? That needs to happen now with Arsenal, okay?
Can the student surpass the master? We'll see this year.
He's only beaten him one time, so we ain't going to be starting saying all that.
Like I said in the beginning, it's all gravy in my world right now. Obviously, the performance, dog shit. Obviously, the mood around the club, dog shit. Yes. But we got to win, baby.
We got to address that.
Scott McTominay, from day one, the little Scottish lad. Technically, he was born in England, but, whatever.
It was like 6-something.
But the little lad that came through the academy, just an absolute all-star performance right here. Garbage performance from the rest of the team. The rest of the team didn't deserve to lace their boots up that day. Onana, another mistake. I really think the guy's going to turn it around. I really think he will go back to being one of the better goalkeepers in the world and in the league. But at this point in time, he's got to figure his shit out.
We're seeing a lot of talk with the back line changing could be a reason why. Is that an excuse for a goalie to be underperforming?
I don't think it's an excuse, but I do think it does have some merit in terms of what is causing the problems. Also, another problem that we have to talk about that unfortunately he has dropped from his best in the world spot to being pretty piss poor this year is Casemiro. The guy, I don't know why. Last year he had a slow start, and I'm hoping that this year he also is just having a slow start and can pick it up.
His legs are gone.
But not even just the legs, some of the decision making. The goal that we give up, Onana passes it out, does fine in the build up. Casemiro passes it off to Amrabat, and it's just this weak pass that has no intensity, no care in the world to the pass, and it gets taken. Onana comes out, goes down, has a mistake for the goal, really. He should have done more to save it, but that comes from a Casemiro error. And it's not the first time that it's happened this year. Thankfully, Ten Hag brings on Scott. You know me, I love Scott. He's my favorite player in the world.
Oh my God, come on.
But this was a crazy game to happen because I'm sitting there just chewing my lip
crazy
off.
And they got lucky. Scott McTominay ends up in the right places at the right time.
Twice.
Okay, just like he does for Scotland. He's, he was in the right place at the right time. He scores the goals. I mean, good job to him, right? But was it deserved? Was it? It came out of nothing, out of nowhere, out of a little spark in the end at Old Trafford of terrible defending.
Well, and I don't think that I can't say we deserved to win that game, but we definitely had opportunities to score. I think that it was a difficult game. Brentford, we know, are a tough team. Yes, they're not as good as they were last year because they don't have as many attacking options, but they are still a quality team under Thomas Frank, and he has put together a really compact defensive unit for when they do go up 1-0, it's tough to score. So to see them get through in the end put a smile on my face, and it didn't ruin my weekend for the first time in a month. And would you believe it if we told you that Tottenham Hotspur are top of the table?
Oh my God, Tottenham.
What? What?
If you would have told anybody last year at any point in the season Tottenham were at top of the table, it would have been because...
Without Harry Kane?
Without Harry Kane, it would have been because the first game of the season they scored like 4 goals or something.
Yeah.
But this team is gelling, okay? I mean, the back line, Van de Ven, Heung-Min Son, Madison's insane. Like, the pieces
spine
are coming
is just
together.
killing it.
The pieces are coming together. The goalie, too. I mean, it's insane. All right, that is all. The big news, Tottenham top of the league, Manchester City not looking good, Manchester United little late drama.
Also not looking good either, but gotta win.
I mean, little late drama, Champions League coming up, free pass down.